Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Ask Lukenessmonster, episode 57, the series on the channel where I answer your guys' questions from the comments down below. So if you guys do want your questions answered in next week's video, comment down below in this week's video and I'll try my very best to answer. And we're also doing a giveaway at the channel. Once we hit 5,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away this ARC Trooper Echo. It is sealed and ready to ship once we hit 5,000 subs, so make sure to hit that subscribe button because you do have to be subbed to the channel to enter. And yeah, we are almost to 4,000. We're almost there, so if you guys aren't subscribed, please hit that sub button. It helps out a ton, a lot more than you know, and I do greatly appreciate it. So on to the first question. The first question from Echo Bricks. He asks, do you think that in the future, for the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, we could get a Kiarimundi and Commander Bakara 2-pack? So, there's a thing with Hasbro, they don't like doing 2-packs a whole lot. They do a few here and there, but we have not seen them in a long time, and that's because they just don't sell super well. The individual figures sell a whole lot better, and while I do think both Kiarimundi and Commander Bakara would be super popular figures, and I think they'd go really good in a 2-pack together, I just don't see it happening. But I do think both these guys will be made in the Black Series eventually. Will it be for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith? I don't think so, because that is actually, what, 4 years away, and I think it's going to be a little bit sooner than that. I think it will be, between the next 2 and 3 years when we'll see both of those figures, so I don't think it'll take 4 years to get them, but I think we are 100% going to be guaranteed that if we don't get them in the next 3 years or so, we will get them for the episode 3 20th anniversary. Like I said, I mean, I think it's pretty much the last clone commander we need besides Neo, though, so I think Bakara is definitely one of those necessities for clone commanders, and of course we need some more of those Jedi in the Black Series, so Kiarimundi would also be just very great to get. Pearson asks, do you think the ARC Trooper 5s will be released with the Phase 1.5 helmet like Echo came with, or the regular Phase 2 helmet that he had in the Umbara arc? So, great question, and this is one I've definitely been thinking about. I think they're going to put him with the ARC Trooper Phase 1 helmet, or the 1.5 helmet, whatever you want to call it, but that is the same helmet that Echo comes with, and I think they're just going to repaint or, redo that Echo mold, and with, of course, the 5's deco. So I don't see them doing the Phase 2 helmet, and that's only because they'd have to make a new mold with the rangefinder on it, which is something they don't have in the Black Series yet. So I could definitely see why they would just reuse that 1.5 helmet, but I would greatly appreciate it if they included both of them in the set, just so you could pick and choose if you wanted the ARC Trooper version or the Phase 2 version. Like I said, I wish they would include both, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see that to be very likely. Roman asks, do you think the Black Series will make Revenge of the Sith Chancellor/Emperor Palpatine? I personally think that he could come with a changeable head and a black robe. So honestly, I do really like this. I think there are several Chancellor/Emperor Palpatines that we could get from the prequels, and I think the one I'd like to get the most is the red cloaked version from episode 3, of course, when Palpatine fought Mace Windu, and eventually, I guess, Anakin killed Mace Windu at the end there, but that's the one I'd like to see the most. I think it's the most iconic version of the Emperor's outfit from episode 3, and I think you could, of course, give him, the swappable helmet, or not helmet, swappable head to make the, pre-shocked and then post-shocked face. You could also give him the shocky hand accessories, and of course his iconic red lightsaber as well. Those are the ones I'd like to get with him, and I think maybe you could give him like his Senate chair as well there, maybe the desk even. Obviously that would make the set a little bit more expensive, but I think if we didn't get that, I'd love to get the Emperor that duels Yoda. I think, it's a pretty similar outfit to what we see already in the Black Series with the Episode 6 Emperor, but I think it's enough variation that I'd still love to get a version of him in the Black Series. And here is a concept from awesome person on Instagram that does concepts. I'll link him in the description. He actually made the Senate chair circle thing. I don't know what to call it, the Senate donut, if that's what you want to call it, but it looks so good, and I'd love to get that in the Black Series as well. I just don't see that happening as much, but that's something I'd love to see in the Black Series. It'd be so cool. My boy Skywalker Hendrix comments. Actually, before I get to his comment, his channel is linked in the description. Go check him out. He does amazing Black Series reviews and other content on his channel, so go check his channel out real quick if you aren't already subscribed. And on to his question. He asks, I do hope we get a Black Series Phase 2 clone helmet for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Sith. Honestly, I really agree with this. I don't know why they have not made a Black Series clone helmet yet. I feel like with the Clone Wars just ending, I guess it would have been over a year ago now, but that would have been a perfect time to make a clone helmet in the Black Series, and I just don't see why they don't do it. And the main reason is because Hasbro likes repainting helmets. I know they did the Boba Fett helmet for 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, and I'm like, what? There cannot make this many different versions of this helmet. Well, apparently they can. They made the prototype version, they made the re-armored version from Mandalorian, and they also made the Death Watch Mandalorian from Mandalorian. And yeah, they like reusing helmets. I know they've made several different versions of the original Stormtrooper. I have 3 on the shelf across from me right now that I'm looking at, so they could honestly do a ton of different repaints with the clone helmet, and that's why it just stumps me that they haven't done it yet, because they could do so many different repaints like they tend to do with the other helmets. So it just blows my mind. I think we could get a Phase 1 for Attack the Clones here next year, but I much would prefer the Phase 2 over the Phase 1 helmet. American Warrior Luke asks, I can't get enough of your videos, dude, thank you so much, I do really appreciate it. And he says, do you think Hasbro will make a 6-inch Black Series Jedi High Council chamber and Geonosian War Room set like they did in the 2003-2004 sets, with all the seats and all the characters? So I think the problem with that is Black Series, it'd get very expensive. Say you're doing a Mace Windu in his chair, they're gonna charge $50 for that thing, and you're doing the entire Jedi Council room, that is like an $1,000 set, probably more than that. So I'd like to see that, but obviously they'd probably only do 2 or 3 characters with maybe like Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and Yoda. Those are the only ones I could really see them doing. Maybe, of course, Kiarimundi and some of those other popular Jedi, but at that point it's getting really expensive. But that's something I'd love to see. Just the different Jedi chamber chairs and everything, that'd be super cool. And with the Geonosian War Room, it's a cool idea, but I just don't see them making that in the Black Series. We don't have enough of those Separatist figures to really flush it out that well. Jordan's Animated Stories asks, what commander or captain from Clone Wars Season 1 would you like to see? I think a Bly or Fly, Phil, something like that, I don't know how to pronounce that super well, would be cool. So honestly, I know this is kind of generic, but I think a Phase 1 Commander Cody would be really cool. Commander Cody is definitely one of my favorite commanders, and honestly I'd love to see a Phase 1 version. I think the only problem with doing this in the Black Series is they would tend to go towards the realistic look rather than the animated look, and I just much prefer the animated look for the Phase 1 helmet, at least for Commander Cody, over the realistic version. So I could see them doing the realistic version, but I would much prefer the animated one. And then the last question says, do you think Hasbro will eventually remake the clone commanders with the new clone body, or will they stay with the old one? And do we have an Imperial Shadow Trooper? So we actually do have 2 versions. One is the one I have in front of you. This is the Shadow Stormtrooper from The Force Unleashed, but we also do have just the plain like black version, kind of roughly based off of the 2015 Battlefront. But that one looks really cool. It is a rarer set, very hard to get, but we do have it in the Black Series. And do I think they'll make the clone commanders on the new body? I think if they make any new commanders going forward, they will, but I don't see them remaking older ones on those newer clone bodies. Like if Hasbro decided to remake a Bly, they're not going to make a whole like brand new mold and everything for that, even though they would just be reusing the clone body. They would just re-release the Bly mold that they already have. But if they make like a Phase 1 Bly, maybe they would change it up and do the newer body for that, if that makes any sense. Same with Rex. Like they re-released Rex with the Bad Batch packaging, but they didn't give him the new clone body, they just used the old one. So I think that's a really good example of that. So maybe if they made a Phase 1 Rex, they would go with that new body, but who knows. But anyway guys, that is actually going to do it for the video. If you did enjoy, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if I didn't get to your comment, it's not because I didn't want to answer it, it's just because we didn't have enough time in the video. So feel free to re-comment that question again if you do really like it and think I should answer it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.